Fergus Walsh. Well, Dr. Mohammed Munir is a virologist at Lancaster University and joins me now, and you share that sense of optimism.
Yes, I do, because I think this is really encouraging. As been said before, I think it has boosted our optimism, and this is a rubber stamp that we will certainly have a vaccine. First, because Pfizer and Moderna both have same technologies, and they've been performing almost at a comparative level in animal studies, in preclinical studies, and in the phase 1 and phase 2 trial. So I'm very excited to hear about the whole data when it will be concluded at the end of this month.
From what we know, what are the main differences at this stage between those two vaccinations?
Both Pfizer's and Moderna vaccines, they are based on the same technology called mRNA-based vaccines. What these vaccines do is that they take the genetic code into a carrier and inject it into the cells, and within the cell they produce the protein that is onto the surface of the virus, and that is what our body take up and start producing the antibodies and also T cells. So both antibodies and T cell together create resistance against the natural course of infection in the vaccinated people. So both basically based on the same principle, but they have some differences that make one vaccine more stable at a higher temperature than other. For example, the Moderna one can be stored at -20 freezers, which are very common in the GP surgeries, in pharmacies, in the hospital, whereas Pfizer's that is required 80 Celsius below zero, that required really cold chain, for example, dry ice or liquid nitrogen.
So 2 positive outcomes so far. Where are we in total with all the trials that are going on?
Yeah, well, that's a really important question. Basically, most of these vaccines, for example, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, or Sinovac, they started phase 3 clinical trial almost at the same time. It just so happened that in Pfizer and Moderna, number of people, those who were infected within the recruited cohort were earlier, therefore they were able to conclude the data. But AstraZeneca and Sinovac, and along with Novavax, they are moving along well with the phase 3 trial as well. So all in all, I am expecting that at least 3 more vaccines would be generating data at the end of this month or early next month. So we will have certainly many choices to make depending on who need what.
Yes, but when can we make those choices? When will we actually face the decision as to where we go and what jab we get?
I think that is again a very important question. All what we are talking about is interim data. This is not the concluded data out of the phase 3 trial. So until we don't really have that information, it's really too early to see that whether this would be something to really to get the approval from the regulatory bodies. But given the optimism we have so far with high percentage efficacy, I am expecting that even if it drop down to 70% efficacy at the end of the trial, still it would be good enough to be presented to the regulatory body. So December would be a critical month where we will have 2 or 3 vaccines approved. That means that at the end of December, early next year, we will be rolling out into the field.
But far from 70%, we're now looking at first 90%, now 95%, 94.5% to be precise, effectiveness. I mean, is it possible to get one that's 99%?
Yes, absolutely, it is possible. We do have vaccines that are currently being deployed in the human population. For example, measles vaccine, it is around 95 plus efficacious, and it provides a sterile immunity, which somebody is vaccinated once, they are protected for the rest of the life. However, we have very few handful of vaccines, for example, chickenpox, smallpox, measles. These were the ones those were providing protection more than 90%. And that was the reason that these were the successful vaccine and have really put the disease on the bay. But this COVID-19 vaccine based on the coronavirus, we really didn't have any vaccine before into the human. This is really exceeding the expectation.
Dr. Mohammed Munir, really good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.